Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Iryam Karavavahi Tejasvinabdhitamastu Vishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asya sarvasya viśvasya. Next Dhāraṇā. Asya sarvasya viśvasya paryanteṣu samantataḥ adhvaprakriyayā tattvaṃ śaivaṃ dhyātvā mahādeyaḥ. Asya sarvasya viśvasya paryanteṣu samantataḥ adhvaprakriyayā tattvaṃ śaivaṃ dhyātvā mahādeyaḥ. Asya sarvasya viśvasya paryanteṣu samantataḥ adhvaprakriyayā tattvaṃ śaivaṃ dhyātvā mahādeyaḥ. So what he says here is, here whatever you see in the order of entirely in the order of adhva, the previously said 6 adhvas, in that order, see them to be śaiva, of the nature of Shiva. Then the Shiva manifests. The Shiva Swarupa manifests. Okay. Asya. Asya. Asya is this, for this. This is adjective. Adjective for what? For all the other 4 words. But that's the funny thing. What are the other 4 words? All. All the 4 words have the same meaning, all. Sarvasya, sarva means everything. Viśvasya, viśva means everything. Paryanteṣu means everything. Samantataḥ means everything. How? Sarva, viśva, they are everything. We know this. It's a common word. Sarva, viśva, it's a common word. It's a synonym actually. Paryanteṣu. Paryanta means paritaha anta. In all the sides, end. The end of all the sides means completely, entirely. Samantataḥ. Samantataḥ means everything, totally. They all have the same meaning. Okay. So what he means is, for all this, whatever you see here, adhvaprakriyayā, in the adhvaprakriyayā. Adhvaprakriyayā means the six adhvas which we saw yesterday. The Dhāraṇā, tattva, kala, and pada, mantra, and the varna. Okay. In this order, tattvaṃ, śaivaṃ, tattvaṃ, dhyātvā, see them to be of the nature of Shiva. Śaivaṃ, tattvaṃ. Śaiva means tasya idam. To the Panini Sutra, tasya idam. This belongs to that. We have shivasya idam. This is all of the nature of Shiva. Okay. What is Shiva? Shiva is of 2 nature. One is the vimarsha swarupa. The other is prakasha swarupa. Prakasha swarupa is consciousness. Okay. The inherent nature of Shiva. Vimarsha swarupa is expansion of whatever you see, the creation. So all the creation, which is vimarsha, seeing that to be of the nature of Shiva. Now, in the previous and this, there is a commonality. In both, adhvaprakriyayā is used, and in both, we are merging them in the Shiva. There is a sequence which is explained. The gross in the subtle, and the subtle in the subtlest, etc. Here, there is no sequence. Everything, put it inside, over. It's all Shiva, over. So that is then mahādeyaḥ, Maha, the great Shiva, Udaya manifests. Okay. Now here, there is a sequence. Here there is no sequence. That is the only difference between the previous and this. This is also a Shakta Upaya. Meditate everything to be Shiva. You can go on doing that drama, but the problem is, even if I am going to make you do that, what is What are you going to see? Because you don't know what Shiva is. What is the inherent nature of Shiva is? So, consciousness and expanse. What is the expanse? If what can come from consciousness? From consciousness only consciousness can come. Purna mudachyate. Consciousness from consciousness. There is nothing else. So you cannot see it to be different from consciousness. That is what it teaches you. But for us, we are used to seeing the duality. So if you say immediately see everything to be Shiva, it is impossible for us to do. That is why it is a Shakta Upaya. Let it be a Shakta Upaya. Okay, next. viśvametanmahādevi śūnyabhūtaṃ. viśvametanmahādevi śūnyabhūtaṃ vicintayet tatraiva mano līnaṃ tatastallayabhājanam. viśvametat, he Mahadevi, śūnyabhūtaṃ vicintayet tatraiva mano līnaṃ tatastallayabhājanam. Okay. Hey Mahadevi, oh great Devi, because Shiva is telling to the Devi, right? So, oh great Devi, see, all this, meditate on all this to be of the nature of void. When your mind also merges in that void, then you become eligible for becoming a void. Okay, that is what this is. Viśvametat, all this, the whole creation. śūnyabhūtaṃ vicintayet, see them to be void, means they don't have any real existence. Asat, they are illusory, they don't have any real existence. See that to be like the Gandharva, the castle in the sky, etc. So see that, see everything to be non-existent. Now, what is the cause for all this creation? The world of duality, your mind, of course. So merge everything in that shunya, and the cause for all this varieties, merge that also, the mind also in that very shunya. When you merge that mind in that very shunya, that what happens? You become, earlier mahādeyaḥ, the Shiva manifests, he said. That is what we keep seeing. Bhairavodaya, mahādeyaḥ, etc. Now here he says, tallayabhājanam. You become eligible, qualified to be immersed in that. Immersed in that Shiva. See, only when the mind merges in the shunya, void is shunya. What is creation? As we saw earlier, creation is a consciousness. So when you discard all this duality, world of duality, and merge it in the consciousness, then you become eligible for being identified with that consciousness. Because we are talking about the identity of the individual self with the Shiva Swarupa, right? So Bhairava Swarupa. So you become eligible for that. So this is also a Shakta Upaya, because you have to discard the whole thing as Shunya. Meditate everything as Shunya. But the problem is, now we know we cannot meditate on Shiva Swarupa. Okay, but we can meditate on Shunya Swarupa, right? But the problem is, accepting this to be Shunya is very difficult. When you say Shunya, see this to be Shunya means, see this to be non-existent. Don't give it any importance. That is a very difficult task to ask. So, this is Shakta Upaya. Okay. Now, from here, the Shunya meditation, different meditations on Shunya starts. ghaṭādibhājane dṛṣṭiṃ bhittīstyaktvā vinikṣipet tallayaṃ tatkṣaṇādgatvā tallayāttanmayo bhavet. ghaṭādibhājane dṛṣṭiṃ bhittīstyaktvā vinikṣipet tallayaṃ tatkṣaṇādgatvā tallayāttanmayo bhavet. See, when inside a pot, etc., object, when you see when you focus on that, the void of that, and after giving up the walls of the pot, etc., you expand that void. What happens? Everything merges in that void. When everything merges in that void, then you also become that void. What does it mean? See, you have a pot, empty pot. Inside that empty pot, what is that? That emptiness, that void is there, right? So, what is that limit? That which limits the emptiness? The limiting agent is the wall of the pot. Now, discard that, meaning make that also void. Expand that void. The room space is completely filled with that void. Now expand that. The walls, they are also removed. Expand. So ultimately everything is engulfed by void. When everything is engulfed by void, then you cannot see yourself to be different from that void, that shunya to shunya bhairava swarupa. See, the difference between previous and this is like they say implosion and explosion. That is the difference here. In the earlier one, we asked to merge everything in this shunya, and the mind also in shunya. It is implosion. Here it is explosion. We are asking the expand the shunya, remove the walls, expand the shunya. Okay, so that is the difference. The difference between the previous dharana and this dharana is the difference between implosion and explosion. Okay, so this is also a shakta. People accept this to be shambha upaya, but same difference. One is expanding and the other is contracting. So therefore, we can accept it to be shakta upaya itself. Okay. Now the difference between the previous dharana, which the first dharana which we saw today, and this dharana is see, here we are asking to see everything to be shunya, non-existent. There we are asking to see everything to be Shiva tattva, śaivaṃ, tattvaṃ, dhyātvā, Shiva swarupa. Tattva means swarupa here, okay, of the nature. So here you have to see everything to be void, there meaning it doesn't have any real existence, superimposed. There you have to see everything to be of the nature of Shiva. That is the difference between that and this, the first dharana and these two dharanas. Okay, this is also a shakta upaya. People accept this to be a shambha upaya, but it seems to be only a shakta upaya because this can be practiced for a mind which is strong enough. If you can practice the implosion, that is very difficult. Explosion is easy. Okay, we'll see this. Om Purnamadaḥ Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.